Around 80% of flowering plants rely on bees. Without them, many fruits, vegetables, and even entire ecosystem would collapse. In the case of bees, that material is wax, and they produce it with great effort. But the honeybee has been using it perfectly from the start. Without attending any university or reading books on geometry, bees build entire hive with exact precision. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Every masterpiece in human engineering begins with a plan. Architects, designers, and engineers spend countless hours calculating dimensions, minimizing waste, and ensuring strength and efficiency. Skyscrapers, bridges, and machines don't come together by accident. They require expert minds and perfect blueprints. But what if I told you that one of the most precise and efficient engineers isn't a human at all, but a tiny honeybee? This small creature, no larger than your fingertip, creates one of the strongest, most mathematically efficient structures known to mankind, the hexagonal honeycomb. Why hexagons? Why not circles, triangles, or squares? The answer lies in both simplicity and genius. Mathematically, the hexagon is the only shape that allows a structure to fill space without leaving gaps, using the least amount of material for the greatest storage capacity. In the case of bees, that material is wax, and they produce it with great effort. So the hexagon, it turns out, is the most efficient, cost-effective, and space-saving design possible. Architects have marveled at this for centuries. It's a shape that took human generations to fully understand and admire, but the honeybee has been using it perfectly from the start. Without attending any university or reading books on geometry, bees build entire hive with exact precision. So the question is, who taught them? The answer is undoubtedly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The bees doesn't just build, it also serves as one of the most important workers in our ecosystem. A single honeybee may visit up to 100 flowers per trip, flying miles each day to collect nectar. But in doing so, it also pollinates plants, something it may not even realize it's doing. This humble effort sustains much of life on Earth. In fact, over 1/3 of the world's food supply depends directly on bee pollination. Around 80% of flowering plants rely on bees. Without them, many fruits, vegetables, and even entire ecosystem would collapse. Yet, the bee doesn't do it for profit. It does it because it was designed to. It doesn't keep track of its impact. It simply does what it was created to do. And what it does sustains the planet. Long before modern science uncovered the incredible secrets of bees, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already revealed their story in the Quran. In Surah An-Nahl, verse 68, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says,
وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا وَمِنَ الشَّجَرِ وَمِمَّا يَعْرِشُونَ.
And your Lord inspired the bee that make homes in the mountains and in the trees and in the rooftops.
Reflect on this. Allah inspired the bee. He didn't teach it through language, nor did He guide it through trial and error. He inspired it, directly guiding its actions. The honeybee, through divine instruction, builds its home, produces honey, and supports entire ecosystem, all without needing to be taught by another creature. That's not instinct. That's divine design. Consider this. Bees navigate using sunlight, landmarks, and even Earth's magnetic field, essentially a built-in GPS. They communicate not through words, but through their movement, sharing exact distances and directions to the flower fields with astonishing accuracy. Their teamwork is flawless. They take no breaks. They make no mistakes. And from this perfect collaboration, honey is born, an extraordinary superfood rich with healing properties, referenced even in the Quran as having shifa, a cure for mankind. And so, this tiny creature with its paper-thin wings and fragile body teaches us one of the grandest lessons in design, harmony, and divine wisdom. It doesn't go to school. It doesn't use tools, yet it builds with more precision than most humans ever could. So who gave the bees the wisdom? Who embedded such complexity and coordination into something so small? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we never thought of it that way.